So hello everybody, welcome back. I hope that you like this video and that you find it helpful somehow. And anyway, grab your coffee, and if you wanted to share with me, you will add it. Links for that down below. And we are going to be talking today about routines and things that were common for both men and women. And we are going to make some notes as in lifestyles and social class and things like that while we're at it. And so I just hope that this helps you out and so that you can understand a lot of things that we're not considering and they are not even told in movies or anything like that. And so you want to understand that all of this is based upon readings, history lessons, and other stuff. So, the first thing that we're going to compare is routines about men and women for the 17th century, 18th century, or stuff like that, as in long time ago. And then after the Industrial Revolution, as in now we have machinery, and then to the TikTok generation right now. So it's an evolution. And so the first thing that I want you to understand is that everything that your family does as a routine will depend upon the system, and it will depend upon what your ancestors did for you in the past. And so let's assume that you are, see, before there were not middle class, it was not a very big thing. It was actually you are either poor or rich. Middle class was people who were smart, people like accounting, or people that were pretty much needed because no one else could do accounting and things like this because it required a lot, and so there were not a lot of people like that, doctors and other stuff like that. So they were middle class. They were not considered rich, but they were not considered poor either. So it was very, very, very important that you understand this one. So the first thing that you want to understand is that very long time ago, the first thing that happened to men when they woke up was they had an erection. So if you're a man right now, between certain ages, I think that long time ago it was from the age of 12 up until they died, like literally up until they died, which was probably around 40 or 50. Every single day men woke up with an erection. And so that is the very first thing that you want to understand. That doesn't mean anything. It just means it's your biological process. If you are a man right now and you wake up and you are like, I don't have an erection every day or stuff like this, or yeah, it might be a problem. It might mean that you have too much on your head, or you may have too much on your emotional side, or you have too much poisonous in your body, or you have an unbalance in your hormones and things like this. And so understand that this is nothing to be uh, worried about. But you want to understand that this is just about routines. I'm not a doctor, so if you are concerned about this topic, then there are a lot of tweets accounts and there are a lot of doctors out there that are men that will tell you whether or not you may have a problem if your routine when you wake up as a man, if you don't wake up with an erection, it might be a problem. Then ask them. Don't I don't have a penis, so I don't know. So I don't know what it even feels like. So just saying that you woke up with that long time ago. Our ancestors woke up with that. When a woman woke up long time ago, the very first thing that you checked was whether or not you had someone next to you and things like this. And by the way, at this point, I gotta tell you that long time ago, people used to sleep with animals. People also used to sleep in barns. People did not have beds. People did not have mattresses. People did not have blankets and all kinds of things that we do have right now. So if you woke up as a woman, you don't wake up, you know, you don't wake up comfortable, okay? Because you're going to wake up like with back pain and things like this. And so one of the very first things that women did was they needed to stretch all the time, because as soon as you wake up, you're like, I'm in pain, I didn't sleep, yeah, the guy was yesterday, yeah. So it was kind of like that. In fact, all women complained every day about all of the physical labor that they were required to do, but at the same time, they were kind of grateful that they have it. And what they didn't consider was the shoes and the feet, because that is the most painful thing. So every day when a woman woke up, and I mean women, I don't mean children, and I don't mean even teens, because teens do not have that problems, you know. I mean, if you're a teen and you're 16 or 15, you're probably not in pain all the time. But if you were an adult, you were complaining about your back pain and your feet hurting and all of these things. But then you stretch, you give yourself a little bit of a foot massage. No cream, no nothing, because that is too expensive and that doesn't even exist. And then you wake up to try to pee. Now, if you are going to pee in this situation, in which I gotta tell you right now, again, there is no water, there is no electricity, there is no bathrooms, there is nothing. So your routine goes differently than what we're doing right now. And so if you're a man, you will very likely have one of those glass containers that look like a U thing, that it's like a valley thing. And your wife or your woman will probably put it next to your bed, so that when you wake up, you had your erection, whatever, and then you can pee in it, you know, as soon as you wake up. So, but if you are a woman, I'm sorry, you need to go outside, especially if you have your period or something like this, and then you gotta figure out how you're going to pee. I know you're in pain, whatever. I know you have your period, whatever. There is no bathrooms or anything, unless you go into the outhouse, and there actually is an outhouse. And you can consider an outhouse to be a luxury. Not everybody can do that. So you gotta find some sort of container, like a pot, because remember, there is no funnel for you, so that you can, you know, create a penis or something out of anything, so that you can be like a man. And since you don't have that or anything like that, then you pee in a pot. So you gotta figure out which pot are you going to use, because obviously you don't want that pot to be a cooking pot or something like this, but you gotta figure out where you're going to pee. So I know if it is a storm or something and you need to go outside, because the outdoor thing is where you're going to pee, then yeah, I know. And here is why, you know, men, you know, there are things that men have it hard, but quite frankly, women have it. You don't understand that kind of pain, but it's okay. And so, you know, to the point in which there was even a joke that says, you know, God created men and women, and then he asked Adam, what does he want as a present? And then, you know, and then God, you know, was looking at them, and then Adam said, I want to pee standing. And then Eve was like, no, you can't have that. You can't have that. I'm going to make you smart so that you can do it outside. Yeah. So there are certain things in which, you know, the penis thing might be like yeah, you're right when men say that women like the penis thing, and it is because, oh come on, would you like to be in physical pain all the time, and then having to pee in a pot and things like this, and having to clean yourself when you have your period, even though that there is no water, and poop in a pot because men don't have that problem. Men have to, and if they have to poop, yeah, well, okay, that one is kind of the same, but still, you got it easy for the peeing thing. Which, by the way, also women pee a lot. Women pee way more than men do. So anyway, let's continue moving on. If you were going to wake up, later, after the Industrial Revolution and other stuff like this, then men still woke up to an erection, but right now the woman doesn't have to, she's not in so much pain because now at least there are beds and there is bathrooms, so the women doesn't have to go and carry the water and do a lot of things that they used to do. So now she's more willing to stay in bed with you and have more babies and things with you because she's beginning to feel like, okay, things are improving. Also, she doesn't have in her mind all of the things that her grandmother had, which were like, oh my god, everything stinks and I have to go get the water to clean all of these things, and I don't even know, I have to walk to the river 10 miles so that I can walk and be back with all of these clothing, and I have no idea how women don't have to go through that. Especially, I'm going to tell you why. Because as soon as the washing machine came out, oh heaven, thank you, routines for women changed drastically, to the point that even the cell phone is not as important as the freaking washing machine. If you're thinking that your cell phone is more important than your washing machine, good luck with that. Seriously, just start comparing. You can't even begin to compare, because when women are in pain and they have to clean and they have to do the laundry, they have to do all of these things, you don't understand how your life as a man is going to become hell without the washing machine. And to the point in which this was, there are like 2 or 3 books that are history books in which is like a before and after. Because before, in your routines, there were 3 days, entire freaking day, since the moment you wake up until you close your eyes at night, you were going to be bent like this, and you had to walk through the river and get soap, which you had to get somewhere, and then you had to make the soap, and you had to get fat and all kinds of things just to get this soap, and it was beyond horrible, the smell and all of the fits. And then you had to carry the all of the water and all of the clothing and everything, and then you had to go. Oh, and by the way, you had a bat. You had like a bat or something like a stick, so just so that you can hit the freaking thing. By the way, at this point, I gotta tell you that women did not suffer for anger management, because we had the stick, which we used to kill all of the clothing. So, well, that was the only good news about that one. So, after the washing machine, there was somewhat anger management issues, but not so horrible, because we were not in so much pain, and at the same time we were having, good sex kind of thing at that time with men, and we were kind of working things through, so everything was kind of cool, right? In certain periods of times. And so, if men are having a hard time in their routines, yeah, I can tell you that you're going to get a hellish system. And if women are having a hard time in their routines, oh my god, I can tell you that you're going to have an easy system. And if you have that one, that is beyond insanity level. And from 1 to 0, oh my god, basically society will be doomed beyond redemption if you are in that system. The reason being, well, women quit. See, men quit, and we still have a lot of problems, because we still need to continue with the routines, and we still have the kids, and we still have a lot of things that keep us within the routines. But when men don't do this, they just quit. But women can't. And so when the woman, which is the last line of defense, quits, yeah, there is nothing. So basically, you are beyond redemption. You probably can't save that thing. Um, and that is because no one will care, literally. And so anyway, the routine. Let's continue with the freaking routine. So at that time, like I said, you wake up, you try to go to the bathroom. Right now, of course, during the Industrial Revolution, you now have the bathrooms. You don't wake up with so much things. You are asking men to buy you things, including the washing machine. If you have a house without the washing machine, it will be better. I mean, if you have to pick between something for cooking and something for doing the laundry and cleaning, most women, if you're a rookie, they will go, ah, yeah, for thing for cleaning, but the thing for cooking. But if you have somebody that will help you, will say, oh, hell no, get the machine, get the washing machine, get the washing machine. You can cook almost everywhere, I swear. You can just set up a fire outside and you will be fine. But without the washing machine, oh my god, no, hell no. Get the freaking washing machine. So, having said that, let's move on. Right now, when you wake up, you are a man. I don't know if you have an erection or not, but I'm hoping that you're healthy and you do. And I do not know your age because it will also depend upon your age, but still. So you wake up, you have an erection, and you probably also go through TikTok a lot. And the way that you are going to get women or whatever, you wake up and you are already watching your cell phone and you're already figuring things out without a plan, because most men and most women right now, they don't have a plan, they don't have a routine, they don't have anything, they have only themselves. So it's kind of like, okay, you don't even have a time to wake up unless you are a student or unless you have a job. If you are a student or you have a job, then you have the routine of waking up and working towards that. But anyway, so your personal plans or what you're going to do with your time is free. You can set up whatever you want, basically, because you don't have to go get water. There is water right there. You don't have to go and get something so that you can have a little bit of light before the sun rises. So you don't have to wake up at 5 in the morning to try to figure out where is the candle or where is the stick from outside that you were supposed to dehydrate or dry several weeks ago during the summer or whatever, so that you can get a little bit of light, like a firelight for a few minutes. And so you already have the light, you already have the water. You don't have to go and get the soap or figure out how you're going to wash your face or how you're going to go to the toilet, because it's already there. And because you already have a lot of choices. You have, like, today I want to clean my face with roses. Today I don't want to do that. Today I'm going to just wash with oatmeal and a sugar scrub thing or whatever it is. So you start your skincare routine, and if you are a woman, and if you're a man, you probably just wash as fast as possible, get into the shower as fast as possible, figure out what time it is, figure out where do you have to go. And if you don't have a plan, then you're probably going to spend the whole day with the freaking cell phone. And even then, your routine is going to be set based upon the cell phone, and you are not even aware of your surroundings. At this point, the routines that you're having are probably going to be related to your car and certain things within your house. So if you have a pet, you probably will kind of like, I want to put food in here, water in here, and then that's it, I'm leaving. For some people, the routines for pets will include, okay, let's walk the dog 5 minutes and then come back, or something like this. It will depend upon where you are, your routine, your personal routine. However, this is kind of how it went. Before, if you woke up as a woman, like I said, you needed to make sure that your husband's things for peeing was empty. So you went outside, empty the freaking thing, put it back in, went to look for your pot, try to do your thing, this could take you up to 20 minutes, maybe half an hour. And all of this was done as soon as the sun rise and there was a little bit of light. So you also needed to make sure that your man had everything that he needed, like clean water near a place, like a sink or something like this, so that he could wash his face. At this point, I gotta tell you that depending upon your family setting, you did not wash your face, because the clean water was always reserved for the man in the house. The clean water was never, the first use was never for you or for the kids, even though that you are the one who went to the river 20 miles down the road to get it, and you only got, I don't know, let's say a 5 gallons thing or maybe 20-liter thing, and you brought it back to your house. That is for your guy. That is not for you and the kids or whatever. That is for the guy. The reason being, well, he needs to clean and he needs to get out as soon as possible. Because if he doesn't get out as soon as possible, and he doesn't get the first jobs that are available outside, then he's not going to bring money to that. Period. Because it's kind of like this. There is a farm outside and they require someone to pick the tomatoes, but there are 50 people waiting in the outside of that particular farm so that they can pick the tomatoes. But the farmer only needs 3 or 4 people. So the farmer goes, you, and you. So if your guy is not in the first round, he's not working today. So basically, the only reason why the guy can get out and can have a life and can go out, drink and make money and everything is because you are the support. Now, are you going to complain about it? No. You gotta do it fast, because you are grateful that the guy comes back home and he was able to make it. And so they brought whatever they could from their work. At this point, if you are a man, you wake up as soon as possible, you run. Literally. I am not saying run as in fast, I'm saying run. You gotta try to run to get to the other town, or to get the first in line to get the jobs from the farmers or from the producers. As in, someone needs to slaughter an animal or something like this, someone needs this or that, and so you go into the plaza and you try to get a job from anyone. And jobs are daily, and so you will get paid daily. And sometimes they will give you food, sometimes the other people will give you anything, but you gotta do with whatever you can, and you gotta make sure that you do the job properly. And you are perfectionist, because if you do something bad, then you are never ever going to get hired again. And so your entire family depends upon how fast you are, how perfect and strong you are, and how is your presentation. If you look horrible in the morning, you are very likely not going to get the job. And so it's a trade-off. You gotta look clean, but you can't look perfect, because if you look too perfect, then you look weak and you probably won't get the jobs. And so if you were poor and things like this was like a very big deal, seriously. And so you made the money, you made whatever it was, and then you bring all that is where people say bring the bacon home and things like this. This was like the thing that women told you, hey, bring the bacon back home, as in good luck, please, good luck, get the job and bring it back, because there was no salaries, there was no time to waste, there was virtually nothing. And if you were a woman, you needed to make sure that once, sometimes twice, and sometimes 3 times in a week, depending upon how many kids you had and all of these things, you needed to go into the river and you were going to spend the whole day doing laundry by hand. um, I'm not joking. The thing is, you were going to spend anywhere from 8 to 12 hours. 12 hours doing the laundry. And that is if you are lucky to have laundry to do. Because most people couldn't even afford to get clothing. Because it's one of those things that most people don't tell you, that there are things that were very, very, very expensive and very, very, very distinguishable long time ago. For example, if you were going to wear buttons, seriously, buttons, as in the ones for you? No, that. Do you have any idea how much work it requires to make the buttons, to put them into a teacher, to sew them by hand, and then to have this teacher or this shirt cleaned and ironed and all of these things? It can take literally anywhere from 6 to 20 hours of work for you to have that. That is a luxury. So no, most people will just wear something like a robe and tie it, leave. Underwear? What the hell is that? So if you're thinking that your routine was going to include showering and skincare and all of the things that we have right now, like buttoning a teacher and things like this, obviously, I think that you have never in your entire life probably be without any of these things. And so your life was pretty much a routine of, you're a man, you run, get a job because you're strong and all of these things, because otherwise no food for your wife and no food for anybody in your home, let alone medicines or anything like that. So if you feel horrible, you have period pain or whatever, yeah, I'm sorry, go and make do with whatever. So the routines for our ancestors, as the female went kind of like, okay, I gotta go outside, get any kind of herbs, and I gotta go into the gossip hole. Women had to go through gossip holes, and they had to walk and talk to other women, like, oh my God, my kid has a headache. What do I do? This gossip hole was made out of grandmothers and sometimes shamans and other people, doctors that were not doctors like we know them today, but other people that were kind of like, okay, you need to go and buy this or get that. And if you get into an accident, then I'm going to tell you right now that you are probably going to get disabled for the rest of your life, because there is no such a thing as a first aid for fractures and things like this. It's just kind of like, okay, you got a fracture, yeah, then stay in bed for 2 months or 3 months until this thing heals, and don't move it, because there wasn't such a thing as a cast or anything like that. Because, okay, come on, if you are a man and you're trying to be and you already have kids and things like this, when are you going to have the time to become a doctor? When? And in what world are you going to study, and are you going to learn how to read and write and do all of these things if all you're doing is working every day to try to get the water? Because getting the water, 20 liters of water, requires you going into the river 3 hours and coming back. And you have to do this trip sometimes, if you were a teen, either girl or boy, if you were a teen, your job is go to the river 2, 3, 4 times a day with other groups, get the water, and come back. That's it. I'm sorry, Mom, but no. If we don't have water, we can't cook. We can't clean. I can't do laundry. And I cannot do this. And you're already a teen. Go get me the water. And right now, the routines with teens is kind of like, I'm sorry, honey, you gotta go and get a high school thing. Oh, Mom, come on. Get a high school thing. Oh, come on, at least get that. So that at least you can try to get a job. So that you don't have to fight that hard to get a job. Oh, come on, Mom. Right now, the teen routines is kind of like, oh, Mom, I don't need any of that. I don't even need how to write or read or whatever. What the hell? I can just be an influencer. I can just travel and be happy. Why the hell? Why do I have to bother? And that is because we live in comfort. Our routines are set up so that we can live in comfort. Do you feel horrible? Yeah, you have the doctor right there. I mean, even if you don't have the money, you can say it's an emergency, and if it is an emergency, the doctor are probably going to take care of you, even if it takes 8 hours. But at least the options are there. And you have medicine. And you have the option of asking for help. You can go into the GoFundMe account. You could do all kinds of other stuff. But the routines in the past were not like that. The routines were kind of like, okay, I got a job to do. I'm the woman. I'm responsible for my entire family's social life whatsoever. And I am responsible for all of the needs of every single person in this place. Because it is the home. If something is dirty, my fault. If something doesn't work, like the family dynamics or whatever, my fault. If something doesn't add up, like my husband only brought today 2 tomatoes, and I can't make a full dinner out of those 2 tomatoes, my fault. Because you were supposed to know, I mean, come on, it's hard times, you're supposed to know how to make a soup out of that thing. And you're supposed to know, and you're supposed to have all of these things, and you can go outside and get herbs or something like this, so that at least you can make a salad. So you gotta be extremely creative. And you gotta be extremely strict with the kids. Because if they don't do what you say when you say it, then your home is going to be plagued by all kinds of accidents, and your husband is never going to succeed. Never. Not even if he's struck by all the luck in the entire planet. He won't make it. The reason being, you are a failure if you don't follow certain routines. And your routines is, you have to be extremely strong physically. That means you gotta carry the kids. And where are you going to carry them? Well, he's a baby. Okay, wrap it and put it in a thing and carry it with your sling. Like if it was a bag, a handbag. Because if you are the one who is in charge of the rice fields or whatever you are growing outside, so that you can get a supply of food in case your husband doesn't make it because he's sick or because of whatever, you are the support, and without you, nothing will work. And if your husband is lazy or unable or whatever, then you are condemned to this horrible life forever. Which is why women at this point went kind of like, okay, I'm a hard worker woman. I am worthy of this much. And so if the man doesn't provide me with this much, then I don't want him. Because there is no point in me about me being the slave of a man who won't provide. See what I mean? But after the Industrial Revolution, women were like, okay, now there is a space for romance. Now there is a space for other stuff. What? Well, I don't have to, beat my ass off, and now I can be pretty. And also now I feel more relaxed. And at the same time, He doesn't have to, you know, get the first place. He could just get a job in an office or in a factory or something like this, and I can relax because he already got it. If he already got it, then, honey, okay, time to focus on ourselves. So the men and the woman routines were kind of like, we have the family, yes, but we also have the time for ourselves. Because before it was, for the men, it was like, if I'm not the first, there is no food for anybody. But I can't cry. I gotta make it. The stress for men was beyond horrible. That's why men used to die of heart attacks and die about everything, because it was like, if you don't get it, then everybody else is going to die on you, and it's going to be your fault. See, if something goes wrong into the home, it was the woman's fault, but the burden or whatever happened, it wasn't that bad. It was in the mental health for the woman. It was like, we the women, in our routines, we kind of self-punish before, because it was kind of like, I can't believe that my neighbor has a better house than mine. This is all my fault. So women self-punished in their routines by comparison on a daily basis. They were like, but men were like, if I don't get the first job, my family's going to die. Or my wife is going to kill me. Because, oh my God, my wife wants to, my wife is becoming insane. I mean, I know she was crazy, but now she's becoming insane. Because I can't provide. Oh my God, what kind of a man am I? And then things like this, it was insanity level, the level of stress that they used to have. Which is why they were very authoritarian with everyone. Because if you have 7 kids, 8 kids, 10 kids, and there is no one that you can call, if one of them falls and they had an accident, they will be disabled for the rest of their entire life. If that was a woman, she will never be able to get married, and she will die for certain. And if he is a man, he will never get the first jobs, and he will never be able to provide for his family. And so, failure for you not recognizing the authority of your parents was basically a stick note for in your entire life, like a seal that says you're a failure and you're done. And so the routines parts were extremely important, and you could not move from there up until the Industrial Revolution, up until the washing machine. Now, when women or men are able to relax a little bit more, and men don't have to compete to get their first job, because all you need to do is get one job. Get one. That's it. You can improve later. I don't care if you're a cashier, because you're bringing money home and you're fine. But then, this thing created all other problems. Like, before, all the kids, literally all of the kids, knew how to pick herbs, how to cook, how to clean, how to look for their sisters and siblings, how to look for water, how to clean the water, how to clean the toilets, how to do this and that, how to make the bed, how to help, how to deal with a fire, how to deal with small accidents, how to do with a bunch of things, like we need to share this bed between 10 people, and so we need a schedule, we need respect, we need communication, we need certain things. Now it's like, okay, the routine is, okay, I have my own room. I don't have to share it with anybody, so I don't care how it looks. And so now the routine goes kind of like, you have to make your bed. What for? You gotta help your sister clean the bathroom. Hire somebody. Or go and make money so that you can hire somebody. What the hell? Why am I cleaning? So there are good things and there are bad things. And the bad things are because we do not know how to approach this thing. Because as soon as the washing machine was done, then the women said, okay, now we have more time to ourselves. And it's like you have a mental breakdown, because women were like, I don't know what to do anymore. And women started gossiping more, and women started comparing more, and women started overdoing a lot of things, because that's what, by the way, we're crazy, and that's what we do. We overdo things. It's like you ask for a man that says set up the table, and then the woman goes, oh, wait, we are going to set it, decorate it, we are going to hire music, we are going to hire the aromatherapy, we are going to hire better lighting, we are going to do this and this and this and that. We overdo things, okay? That's just beyond understanding. We overdo things. Man, I'm sorry, set up the table. We're done. Anything else? Where is the romance? Where is the whole thing? At this point, men started to figure out women, and they were like, I'm sorry, have you noticed that women are crazy? Yeah, I know, but before I didn't care so much, but now it's like she wants romance. What the hell is that? And men started talking to each other, but men were like, I'm sorry, you used to compete against the same thing for me, right? So you're no longer a competitor, but now you gotta work with me about this thing about women, and I don't want to tell you that I'm weak because of my woman, and I don't want to, I don't want to share these things with you, but anyway, let's buy some books. Let's buy something. I don't know, maybe magazines. And then the magazine says, oh, all women like being sexy, so all women like being naked in pictures and things. And men were like, oh, so women like this thing. They think that being naked and playboy and things like this, that is romance, that is what they want. If a woman was looking at you like that, she would be like, ah, seriously, what's wrong with you? You're a jerk. Oh wait, I forgot you were a jerk before, so never mind. But that's not what I meant. I'm just trying to ask. And in the routines, men started reading more and beginning to try to figure out women. Unfortunately, yeah, I'm sorry, but there is no way that you can figure out a woman. Because you don't go through the gossiping whole thing, and then you go, yeah, but men also have the gossiping thing. Yeah, but they are logical, and at the same time they don't have to deal with 40 things at the same time. I mean, seriously, gossiping between men and gossiping between women. Between men, I'm guessing that they guessing in my head. I'm thinking that they probably are like, talking about other women's breasts or ass or whatever it is, and anyway, between the routines of these things, now there is also the routines about testing each other people's with their relationships. Yeah, I'm sorry, before the routines were like, you know what, you're 10, yeah, you're getting married, okay, that's it, you're done. You were already set with your life, and you didn't have the choice for partnership or whatever. You were kind of like, you were trained to be somebody else's wife or husband or something like this, and so the routines established certain backgrounds for which you had stability. You didn't have choices, but you had stability. And in most of the times, these stabilities were actually imposed, as in, but Dad, I'm 10, I would like to study. You are 10, you do not know what the hell you're doing, and also, I raised you, I paid for you, you belong to me, therefore, do as I said, period. Okay. And your routine was entirely set. But now, the routine with the couples and things like this is kind of like, oh yeah, but my girl knows how to drive. Why do you want a woman that knows how to drive? She should stay home and just be like our ancestors. I mean, she should just stay home and be invisible. And the routine goes kind of like that. Men are trying to get back into the old, which you shouldn't want to have that, but okay, I get it. But if you're going to go back to the old, you should know that then you will have all kinds of competitions, and you will have all kinds of struggles, and you will have all kinds of responsibilities, and you will have all kinds of pressures that you will not be able to support alone, because women do not know how to go back to that, because that is a slavery. And women are, once a slave is free, they, most of the times, they do not want to go back to being a slave, especially if now they can actually own you. And so now the routines goes kind of like, I'm a woman, I can do anything, and I don't need men. I'm sorry, are you seriously saying that you want to go back to that time in which you actually had to go and get water and all of these things, and then you go kind of like, no, we still get it. I'm going to repeat this. You see, in that routine, men were in charge of all the plumbing and all of the infrastructure and all of the roads and all of the things, so that we as the woman can do our job. So basically, our comfort, I mean, I'm not going to say that we were 100% sure, comfortable, 200 years ago or something like this, but at least we had roads and something like this. I mean, we didn't have to go with a machete, trying to get all of the trees out of the way so that I can go into the river and get water. I mean, trying to imagine that actually happened for a lot of people. But no, men, you tell men, hey, I need a road here, men go and do it. So if you don't need men in that routine, then you gotta do the men's routine. If you are the one who is going to do the men's routine, then I'm going to tell you that you won't last 2 hours. 2 hours as a man on the routine. You won't. No matter how strong you are. I mean, and I do mean that because you have seen me in my videos. I carry water here with buckets. I do a lot of work. But even then, I still do not cover even 10% of whatever a man has to do when it is hard times. And what happens when the man has back pain and then he can't help you out, and you are the one who has to do all of the physical work? Because men are humans. They also get sick. They also have to do these jobs. See, when women were not there, that's why men used to have five women all the time with them. They were like, I'm the alpha, I need 5 women. Why? Well, because if one of you fails, then I'm not going to spend 8 hours or 12 hours of my day beating clothing. For God's sakes, I'm not going to beat clothing for the whole day. So I need another woman. I don't care, I'm having another woman. And men were like that. And that's why in a certain part of men's brain, women are disposable. And that is because you have 3 or 4, because there is no way that men are going to spend, the whole day beating clothing, or the whole day, carrying water and going back and forth with just water, just because they need water. What the hell do you need that much water for? Men will go kind of like, then if I need that much water, then I won't shower, I won't clean, I won't do anything. I don't care. Who the hell cares if this table, it doesn't, it doesn't have the flour and it doesn't look cool or whatever. It's just a freaking table, I'm just eating. And men will become savage. And men will become beasts. And they will probably not care about manners or anything. Right, well, because if there is no woman, then what the hell do you care for? I seriously don't care about anything. Yeah. And that is why we need each other. And that is why our routines are so important. Because right now, the routines are saying, we're going to go back to that. And the problem with you romanticizing that idea is that you don't understand the consequences of that. The consequences of that are beyond your reasoning. Because it has to do with going back to your root as a man or your root as a woman. And if you're going to do this, then you have to understand where your own strengths lie. And you will have to manage your time based upon only one goal: survival. And the second goal, your family. You will care nothing about anything else. And if you don't care about anything else other than your family, the whole community and the whole government will collapse. And if this happens, you're done. And you're thinking, yeah, but it's better without government and it's better without all of these things. Yeah, I'm sorry. Who the hell do you think is going to be responsible for building and creating all of the infrastructure for electricity, water, roads, security, law, trading, fairness, and all of the things that governments do? Or at least they try to do. Or at least in paper, at least you have some sort of system. Who? Who? The answer is no one. No one. And so now you will have a bunch of men that are trying to come together, and now you will have to start over from scratch. And if you have to start over from scratch, I wonder how many men who are worried sick that they cannot get 2 tomatoes so that they can come home with food. I wonder how exactly are those men are going to put this together when they can't even figure out one thing. And it's all because the routines that we have. The routines that you have right now, that you as a person have, are based upon choices, and they are based upon the place that you're in, and they are based upon all of the luxuries that our ancestors work their off just so that you can get that much. Mattresses? Mm-mm. That doesn't exist. That is a luxury for most people. A roof over your head? I'm sorry, did you build that yourself? Because otherwise you need to find it in any kind of shelter. And finding a shelter on your own, ask a homeless person, how much is that? See, your routine, it will depend upon the whole system that you're in and your whole needs. And the problem is that we don't understand even that one on our own, let alone, how are you going to put it together?